have to share this special moment with you. I have, for years and years and years, been trying to grow sweet peas, the flowers. The reason that I've been trying to grow these is because these are flowers that my grandmother has always grown, and they always remind me of her. Just the smell, just instantly thinking about all of the years that we've spent together on her allotment while she's been growing vegetables and flowers. And I've never been able to grow them. This year I finally sussed it. They finally come out. And oh, they smell so good. I can't explain to you. I'm so happy. This was the noise that I could hear as I sat in my garden trying to enjoy the sunshine. So I'm going to be putting an immediate stop to that. I went into my garage room to find my little can of oil and realised fairly quickly that it was completely empty. Of course, no job takes 2 minutes. It always seems to take quite a lot longer than you expect. So I picked up this pot of oil. It's car oil. And I'm using this oil for no other reason than it's all I've got in the house. Watch very carefully next and see what happens when I try to put down the cap from this lid. Yep, exactly. I placed it on the top of this table, but I placed it exactly in the hole, which was, I guess, a bit silly. Wasn't really paying attention. So I'm using this because it's the only one that I have, and I've used this before for other things, and it works quite well as a lubricant. I can not do this with one hand, so off camera I filled that up and screwed it back up. This little can I got from my previous house. When I moved out, the people that had lived there before left me a whole bunch of stuff, including this little can, and I rehomed it. And I've been using it ever since. So to be able to get it into the hinges, I try to get it into the little gap. Sometimes there's a hole at the top and you can put it in. There wasn't actually any holes in this one. So I try and get it, squeeze the little button that allows the oil to come out. And I try to put it into where the two pieces of metal move. Once I've tried to add in a little bit of oil, I'll then open and close the door because that will move the oil around and allow it to go further into the hinge. I'll do it on every single one, even if they're not squeaking, because it means that I have done my maintenance all at the same time and I won't have to come back in a month's time or whatever to do the other ones. Whilst I'm doing this oiling, wanted to tell you about what I got up to today. I had a lovely little walk down to my local cafe to sit and have a meeting about a project that I'm going to be working on super soon. It's a secret project. I can't tell you about it yet, but I'm very excited about it, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. So I look forward to a time where I can share more about that. But I had a meeting about that this morning. Oh, by the way, I usually come back in at a different angle because it allows it to get on parts of the metal that it wasn't able to before. And while I'm here, I'm also going to oil up some of these screws that have gotten a little bit rusted. Anyway, since I was in the cafe earlier, I stuck around after my meeting to sit and do some gadmin. At some point I need to fix this door. After I bought it, it sort of settled in a really weird way and has started splitting, so I probably need to protect it with something. I made the mistake of thinking that it would already come with the wood protected, but it didn't, so I should have done that before installing, but I didn't realise. Anywho, I wanted to show you these pots. I bought these a little while back and I think they're really clever. They have this kind of button that you can press at the bottom, which allows you to much easier push your plant out. These are squash. I'm just going to place these in here and plant them. I'll need to find a trellis for these to climb up, which leads me into talking about the major project that I have coming up next that I'm going to do in my garden, which I can tell you about. As I just today ordered all of the bits that I need and the parts are coming next week. I tell you what, it has been an exhausting week and I have so little left in the tank I went and got a fish and chips from my local chippy. This is me just trying to stay awake long enough to take it home and scoff it. Oh man, that is the face of someone who needs a break. I did pick up my fish and chips, and I wanted, before the sun went down, to talk you through my project. My deck is about to get a makeover. This hot tub is way too big for my decking. I didn't know that when I built the deck because I didn't know I was going to put a hot tub on there. And now that I have, it's too big. So what I'm going to do to solve this is I'm going to take these boards up, I'm going to reuse these in a different part of the garden. I'm then going to make the deck wider by about that much up to these flagstones. I'm going to rebuild some of the frame because I've used wood in there that is not particularly good for outdoors. It was just whatever I had left over at the time, and it's not designed for outdoor use. And because of that, I don't know how well it's supporting the weight of the hot tub. Once that's done, I'm going to reset some large fence posts out of each corner, similar to this one just here. And I'm going to add them in all four corners. There are fence posts in here already, but they have been cut off to account for the decking to sit over it. I'm going to leave them long, so they're about 2 meters 10 long, I think, around all four corners, and that will allow me to add plants and create a natural trellis to act as shade when I'm using the hot tub. This isn't actually the first time that I've taken this deck apart. I took it apart last summer to add some extra pieces of wood going the length of the deck, because like I say, originally I created it just to put a stool on there, just a bench, a garden seat. So I added that for the extra weight, and it has been supporting it, but I'd like to do it properly, so I'm going to get some heated, treated wood that is designed for outside. And with the leftover decking that I'm going to take off, I'm going to use this to create some planters around the garden. I was just in the shop today and I thought about buying some wood that I could use to make my own planters, and then I realised that that was a crazy idea because I'm about to have a lot of excess. I also bought some other things from the shop. Let me show you what I picked up. Oh, look at that hose pipe making a big mess on the lawn. I wish I had somewhere that I could store that away. That would be handy. Here's what I picked up. This is for my hose to go onto so that it's not lying on the floor. I also picked up a bunch of these because no matter how hard I try, I always find that these end up either going missing or product dries inside, and then I found myself with a little problem. And last but not least, 2 new brackets for my guttering in the front garden. Now that I have them, at the very least, I can put them up when I have 5 minutes. I need you to know that whilst I'm showing you all of this, my fish and chips is getting cold, so I'm going to go eat that now. Short video today. But if you enjoy watching this episode, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.